Hello everybody, welcome to Three Rabbit Tarot. For a special edition, we're doing a full moon reading today, or tonight. And as you can see here, we have the full red blood moon here. This full moon in particular is a little special. We're looking at the full moon in Sagittarius. So this is a time of kind of, with Sagittarius, of like truth seeking, expansion, adventure, growth, new opportunities. Also like a little bit of risk taking. So some people might need to kind of slow down a little bit during this full moon in Sagittarius. This full moon in Sagittarius is pretty significant though. It's the first lunar eclipse of the year. So we have the blood moon here. It's significant in that it kind of amplifies all the energies that we're looking at right now. The full moon period is typically a time of closure. So anything that you've been working on since the new moon, now we're seeing some kind of closure in that. And we're seeing kind of a period where you need to reassess what is working for you and what is working against you. Kind of like, maybe doing like a little bit of spring cleaning right now. And that's pretty significant right now in that this is the flower moon as well. So it kind of signifies a period of spring renewal, new energies, rejuvenation. And then also linking it to our channel, it also kind of has like a rabbit motif to it as well. I think that this moon could also be called the moon gazing hare. So you have like a hare, kind of like a rabbit, but more solitary form of a rabbit, kind of staring up into the moon. And this would symbolize a time of fertility as well. So much like, new growth and everything, much like the spring season. But we're looking at these energies being amplified, and it's pretty significant. First lunar eclipse of the year. So rather than just this period right now reflecting back on what you need to get rid of that hasn't been serving you since the last new moon, we should also be looking at what hasn't been serving us since the start of the year. So this lunar eclipse, pretty significant. This full moon period, pretty significant for everybody. It's bringing a lot of new energy into our lives that's going to resonate with us for the rest of the year and maybe even setting up things for the coming years. So we're going to do a pretty simple spread today. We're going to be going around kind of like a clock pattern here with all the signs. Starting, being that we're now in like Gemini season, we'll go ahead and start with Gemini and work our way all the way around. We're going to be pulling two cards. The first card is just to get a kind of general energy. So like, what is this full moon offering you right now? And then we're going to pull a second card here from our deck, and it's going to be talking about what are some like blockages that you're having, what are some things that you need to surrender as we're moving into like this new season of the blood moon. So we're going to be pulling multiple cards here. We're going to start with Gemini at the top. We'll have Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So I have like a little clockwork pattern here. We'll fill this in with Cancer, Leo, Libra, Scorpio, Capricorn, Aquarius, Aries, and of course, Taurus. So this oracle card here is going to be the first one that we draw, and this is going to be just, the general energy. What is this new moon providing you right now? And then besides our oracle cards, we're also going to be drawing cards kind of dealing with, again, what are those blockages that you're having? So we're going to draw for each of the signs, and then we're going to go through one by one, just give a short and simple reading. Again, this season, there's so much to delve into. We're going to try to keep it pretty simple for everybody. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start up here with Gemini. So Gemini, right now, what kind of new things is the new moon bringing in for you, or the full moon bringing in for you? And we have working through your fears. And we also have in any blockages that you're having, we have the Hierophant card here. So kind of talking about like tradition, something's kind of like holding you back in a sense. So Gemini, with your reading here, I'd say that we have a lot of blockages here that you're dealing with tradition. I think that these things in a way are kind of, these are the things that are kind of holding you back. These are the fears that you have. I think that right now you could have a fear of maybe just some kind of obligations that you have to a family, for instance. That's the kind of thing that's, especially reaching out to me with these cards. So you have like the traditional, like maybe some kind of like hierarchy or something that you're dealing with. It doesn't necessarily have to be some kind of religion or something, but it's just something that you've been born into, or maybe you've adopted. This is very like sturdy system, and you haven't questioned it for too long, but now it's almost become something that you fear. You fear kind of questioning you fear kind of questioning what's already been established for so long, Gemini. And I think that this period for you right now is going to be a time of challenge, of expansion. We have the moon in Sagittarius, so that's all about expansion and adventure, new growth. And I think that the way for you to overcome these fears is to seek new horizons that break free from like this traditional hierarchy, whatever's holding you back here. But there's definitely some kind of tradition right now that isn't serving you. This is something, not only a blockage that's holding you back, but it's also something that's no longer serving you. So this is something that, you could kind of reassess, like what are some like pre-established beliefs that you have that maybe just don't really suit where you're going in the future here. All right, and then our next sign that we're going to be doing is Cancer. So in the area of what this full moon is bringing for you, we have be bold and make your first move. And in the area of blockages, we have the Death card here. Yeah, so I could see Cancer right now. I think all your readings recently have been a lot about seizing these new opportunities and kind of letting go of some anxieties and fears that have been holding you back from actualizing this big goal that you have. And I think that right now in the with the moon in Sagittarius here, with this like big upheaval, the things that are blocking you back, the things that you're holding on to that are no longer serving you is kind of like that fear of disruption and change. So the Death card here usually doesn't deal with actual death. It just deals with some kind of change and revolution. As a card of blockage, as something that you need to let go of, I could see this as, you're still, there's something kind of holding you back from making like that big change that you need. And we kind of talked a lot in the weekly reading and also some of the weekend readings about there's a lot of anxieties about all these opportunities that you have. And I think that right now, this period of the moon is telling you just to be bold, make that first move, go forward with something, and like don't worry too much about some kind of failure. I could see this Death card as almost like maybe like a fear of like failure, maybe like a death of the project or something, for instance, that you're working on. And I'd say definitely don't worry about that right now. It's definitely not this fear that you have of like a project exploding on you is not going to serve you at all going into this new moon. And this is pretty significant because the Cancer readings up until this point have been all about pursuing these kind of new projects, letting go of these anxieties. And now we have here like be bold, make the first move. The Sagittarius moon is all about bringing in this new energy, it's expansion going forward. So this is like perfectly in line with some of those readings that we've been doing for Cancer, which is pretty cool to see. Next here we have Leo. Leo, we have here with your Oracle card, we have a time for healing. And we also have, in any blockage that you have, we have the Fool card. So Leo has been, in the readings that I've been doing, has been dealing with some pretty major like financial problems right now and kind of finding like a new way forward through these financial difficulties. So Leo, right now there's definitely a time for you to heal, to kind of maybe put some of these financial woes aside for a little bit. With the Fool card here, this is like as like a card of blockage, is something that you're holding on to. I could almost see this as like you keep on looking for these like false new starts. You're always looking for like, you think like, okay, this is the new quest that I'm going on. This is a new ambition that I'm taking on. This is going to be the thing that gets me out of it, out of like this bad situation that I'm in. And I kind of see like right now that's like almost like a blockage in a sense. I think that you're not focusing on the thing that's like right in front of you that could be changing your situation right now. So I think that what this is saying, like the Sagittarius like full moon right now is all about, of course, expansion, moving forward, adventure. But I think that this is telling you like, take some time for healing, maybe slow down a little bit, because that full moon is Sagittarius energy, especially with like the fire signs. It's like a lot of fiery energy, especially for like a Leo. This could just be saying like, don't bank too hard into that fiery energy, because it can also become very like impulsive as well. So rather than making these impulsive changes with this Fool card here, making like all these weird new starts, maybe take some time for reflection and just kind of focusing on like what you have around you that could be getting you out of these situations. All right, and here we have Virgo. So Virgo, in your Oracle card here, we have your dreams need a practical plan. And the blockages here, we have the Seven of Cups. So this is like a little bit similar to Leo, I'd say, wherein you kind of need like, again, the Sagittarius moon, fiery energy, moving forward, some kind of new changes, expansion and growth, but also being a little bit too impulsive. And being a little bit too impulsive and then rendering in like these new things into your life that maybe aren't serving you. Maybe these aren't very practical plans to move forward. And you kind of see that here with the Seven of Cups as well. This person, or like this rabbit actually, is surrounded by like all these great opportunities. They have all these things, but it's impossible for them to kind of like manifest everything all at once. There's like too many pathways that they could be pursuing. So right now, this is saying, look, hit the brakes a little bit. It's a fiery season. Let's chill out a little bit and find a more practical plan instead of pursuing all these different cups at once. So again, pretty similar to Leo there. So if anybody has like a Leo and like a Virgo sign, then this is definitely telling you to slow down a little bit here. Finally, we have Libra. So Libra, we have here with your oracle card, we have hold your vision. So kind of like holding on to this thing that you've been building up throughout this part of the first year. And I think this is telling you that whatever that vision is something significant, something that you need to be working towards. And here with your blockage card, we have the King of Pentacles here. So yeah, I could see that maybe you're running into some kind of difficulties with securing the finances that you need to move forward on like a project that's significant to you right now. That's the thing that's popping out to me a lot. This is like some kind of personal ambition. This is something that you've been building up. So this is something aside from work and from school. This is building up some kind of ambition that means just something to you personally right now. You don't know where it's going. You don't know if it's actually going to render you any material success, but it's something that matters a lot to you. And I'd say even though this is some kind of blockage, you're worried about kind of coming into your own here. You're kind of worried about being able to like build yourself up into this King of Pentacles where you feel very confident and secure with yourself out of this ambition that you have. I say that this right now is telling you, continue moving forward. This whatever plan this is that you have, it's not a bad plan. It's definitely a great idea. Something that you're just slowly growing and slowly building up right now. And just don't worry too much about the conclusion here. All right, and Scorpio. So Scorpio, with your oracle card, we have nothing is set in stone. So all about change, actually pretty significant for Scorpio as well. Scorpio is all about that kind of revolutionary energy, upheaval and change. And that could be very significant right now in this Sagittarius full moon. And that could be very significant right now with the Sagittarius full moon. It could be telling you that you definitely need to make some kind of changes. You've been bogged down in something. I think that came up in your weekly reading actually, is that you've been like bogged down in something for like a long time. And now there's something coming into your life that was going to bring upheaval. So nothing is set in stone, Scorpio. Even though the most, mundane of daily tasks that you're performing, those aren't set in stone. They can also be upheaved and changed in some kind of way. And here, as your blockage, we have the Sun card. Yeah, so I could see some kind of just apprehension and fear here. I think that there's some kind of upheaval coming into your life right now, and it's kind of changing up how mundane things have been for a really long time. Maybe you've been set on like this fixed path for like a really long time, Scorpio. And I think that this could be saying right now, nothing's set in stone, but you're also kind of worried, like, is this a new thing that's coming into my life? Is this really going to bring me this kind of like walled garden of happiness that the Sun card always offers? And here is the card of blockage. I can kind of see the Sun as being like, maybe the happiness that you're seeking isn't so clear right now. And maybe it's because you've been set on this path for so long. So like nothing's set in stone. Kind of change things up a little bit right now, Scorpio. Definitely harness this Sagittarius energy with like the full moon right now and kind of make some kind of change, some revolutionary actions for yourself. Because right now I think you're having a hard time seeing like, is there happiness in like this path that I'm moving down right now? So that's the kind of blockage that you're seeing right now. Sagittarius, here with your oracle card here, we have nothing will come from this situation. A little ominous there. And and then also with your blockage here, we have the Moon card. Yeah, so I could kind of see like a little bit of confusion right now with everything that you've been building up in this last first part of the year, I guess. All right, so Sagittarius, saying that nothing could come of this situation with the moon card here, and then also like a lot of confusion. I see this as just a lot of uncertainty. I mean, this is literally just confusion, just like a lot of uncertainty about, and I think that's the blockage that you're experiencing right now, is that you just maybe shouldn't be as confused and uncertain as you are right now. I think that the pathway that I think that what this is saying, that the pathway that you've been heading down towards right now, it might seem unclear where it's going, but like, I think, like deep down inside, and you have like this, like the subconscious here with like the moon and everything, represented on the moon card. I could see that as saying maybe you could kind of tap into this and kind of trust your intuition a little bit more right now, instead of like focusing too much on like what seems like the most like practical course of action, like one of the other readings here had. It's kind of more about like focusing on, okay, you need to like find like a practical plan. I think that this is saying whatever you're working towards right now, even though the outcome might seem a little bit unclear, it's still like the right way to go. And just kind of don't let the confusion here of the moon card bog you down too much. So yeah, I think that's still definitely positive ways to look at some of these. Nothing too incredibly negative here. All right, and then here with Capricorn, with your oracle card, we have don't let the past hold you back. And here with the blockage that you're experiencing, we have the Six of Wands. Yeah, so I kind of see you as like having reveled. I think that there's something from your past, Capricorn, and this could be like your recent past, maybe something from like earlier in this like first half of the year that you've been like focusing on. Like maybe you made some huge accomplishment, but you've been kind of like bogged down in that for too long. Capricorn, I think that you kind of need to, end the parade here. Stop like patting yourself on the back for something that you accomplished. I mean, it's great, you accomplished something fantastic. Of course, you should celebrate it. But I think that maybe you've been celebrating it for too long, and you're kind of feeling like, oh, like those were my glory days, like 6 months ago when I accomplished this, I think that this is saying right now, take the energy here that we have with the Sagittarius full moon and kind of pave some new pathway forward. Don't allow yourself to be bogged down in this past celebration. You made some great past success, I'm sure, but you can be like a little bit too nostalgic for the past. It can feel like a little bit easy just to reminisce on like this past accomplishment that you had instead of like moving forward to some new project. So there's, again, nothing wrong with celebrating the past, but don't celebrate for too long, or else that's going to be the defining thing of your life. It's going to be like, oh, that time 6 years ago, first you say like, oh, 6 months ago I did this, and then a year ago, and then 6 years ago, and then 60 years ago I accomplished this. Don't let that be the thing that holds you back. Let's go and accomplish more stuff, Capricorn. You have new accomplishments to make. And then here we have Aquarius. So here for your oracle card, we have show the world the real you. And with the blockage that you're having, we have the Page of Cups. Yeah, so Aquarius, I could see this as maybe you've had like a lot of difficulty expressing yourself right now. I think that maybe I'm kind of almost feeling like family troubles with these kind of cards here. I think that you've been seen as, you're kind of like fear being seen as like immature. I think that you're really passionate about something that you're getting into, something that you're studying, some new career, some new person who's come into your life too, who you really care about. But you're kind of worried about being seen as naive by your family, for instance, or even like by your friends too. And, if you concede too much, if like you're too afraid to express yourself at any moment, you're always like conceding ground to like those people. You're kind of like boxing yourself in. You're not making things easier. And this full moon period is important. You're letting go of things from the past that aren't serving you. And I think for too long, you've kind of been sheltering, or you've kind of been building up like this fake perception around other people about who you are. And And I think it's a problem because it reaches like a bottleneck at a certain point. You kind of you lie to people for so long. Maybe you want to like just like hang out with like these different people. Like maybe you have like some new friends that you want to hang out with, and maybe it's not the typical crowd that you'd be into, or that your family thinks that you'd be into, for instance. But maybe these are the people who you've always felt the most comfortable with. But maybe you've tried to like hide those people from your family, for instance, and it's going to reach a bottleneck eventually, kind of like an explosive event where you can no longer contain and support this false identity that you built up for yourself. And that's going to be like a tower moment for you. It's going to be something catastrophic because it's going to seem to your family like, oh, you just changed like night and day. You became a new person. You're hanging out with new people. You have these new ideas. But really, they've been there for years. That's not going to do you any favors, though. Aquarius, that's definitely not what you want. So I'd say take the time during this next half of the year. Definitely take this energy right now, but definitely moving into the next half of the year, focus more on subtly expressing more who you are, bringing those new people around, changing things up slowly so that you can start to feel more comfortable in your own skin. Otherwise, you're going to reach like some kind of explosive moment. So this is saying, own who you are and love who you are, Aquarius. Here with Pisces for your oracle card, we have it's time to take action, and I think that's definitely true. With the Sagittarius moon here, what better time to take action than with the fiery Sagittarius energy? And also with your card of blockage, we have Temperance. Normally, Temperance kind of about like weighing two different sides. They don't have to be like contradictory views or anything per se. It's just about like weighing like all your options and kind of really understanding like in your heart like what's best for you out of like all these like options that you have. And I think that right now this is telling you, it's like a card of blockage, just telling you like don't get bogged down too much and like trying to be some trying to find some kind of like objective, like neutral ground for some kind of project that you want to move forward on. Definitely it's time to take action, Pisces. Just take action. It's just time to take action. Whatever big goal, big ambition that you have right now, it's just time to take action. There might be some naysayers, or you might also feel like maybe if I take action going in one direction, these other people who I was working with, maybe they're gonna think negatively of me. But maybe that's not necessarily the case. I think that if this were like some other cards, maybe like the Justice card or something, I'd kind of feel that way. But I think that this is purely like in your own heart right now. This is purely internal. I wouldn't be too worried about this. I think that as like a blockage card, this is saying like don't worry too much about like those other people don't care as much as you think. So just kind of focus on moving forward, taking action right now, Pisces. And finally, here we have Aries. So here with your oracle card, we have you and your loved ones are safe. Wonderful. That's great for me because like I'm an Aries, so that's good to hear. And as our blockage card, we have the High Priestess. So Aries, right now I could kind of see the blockage that you're experiencing. It's just like a little bit of confusion about the pathway that you're heading down. You're kind of worried that the new ambitions that you're getting into, it might not be the best thing for your family here, the best thing for your loved ones, for instance. But right now, this fiery moon energy is kind of telling you like, don't worry too much. There's like a lot of growth and change right now for you, Aries, but don't worry too much because those people that you care about around you are safe. And those are going to be the people who continue supporting you on these new projects and new ambitions that you have. So don't get too bogged down on these this internal conflict, this internal dialogue about like what's best for those other people, because whatever pathway that you're heading down towards right now, Aries, definitely also benefiting them in some way, and that's why they're around you. That's why they're supporting you right now. Otherwise, they wouldn't be around you and supporting you. And Taurus, for our oracle card here, we have a fiery climax approaches. And we have as your blockage card, we have the Two of Cups. So this Taurus seems like Taurus, this kind of seems like somebody's coming into your life, and I think that that came up in your weekly reading. I think that somebody is coming into your life right now who is kind of changing things up a bit. So Taurus, I can kind of see right now you have like a little bit of apprehension about some new person entering your life right now. It's just like the Two of Cups. If this were the Lovers, you could say for sure that this is like somebody who is, some kind of relationship coming into your life. But just with the Two of Cups, this could be just about like anybody, but you have some kind of like apprehension about them coming into your life right now. But it seems like what this is saying to me is that it doesn't quite matter. Whatever individuals come into your life right now, Taurus, is somebody who's going to disrupt things no matter what. So there's definitely some big energy coming into your life right now, Taurus. So that's pretty exciting to see, but I definitely feel like, definitely in your weekly reading as well, I felt like some kind of apprehension about the individual as well. So I see like a lot of apprehension, even though I think you kind of know, like this person they're bringing something new into my life. And it doesn't have to be a lover, of course, with the Two of Cups. It could just be like, some kind of like person that you're working with on a project, a business partner, colleagues, etc. But they're definitely coming into your life. They're shaking things up, and there's very little that you can do about it because you kind of need that person right now because they're bringing something significant into your life. Thank you so much to all the signs for joining us on this full moon reading. We're going to be continuing with our weekend readings and weekly readings as usual, and then we'll also be gearing up for our first monthly reading soon. I'd also like to thank all of our new subscribers for joining us, and have a wonderful new full moon.